Hello there. So the app that you're seeing on the screen is a game. So we can see that we are having 40 boxes over here inside which a value 0 is given. So when I click on the start button, we can see that X will appear randomly on these boxes, and if we are able to click on the X, so our score will get added to 1, and if we are unable to click on the X, so our score will get decremented by 1. So another important thing about this game is that this app runs for 10 seconds. So basically that's what the game is all about. So in 10 seconds, how much one can score, it's all that. So now let us show you a demo. So when I click on the start button, you can see X appears, and if we are, so I was able to click on the X, yeah, 3 4. So as you can see, I was able to, and I was at the same time unable to click on the X. So similarly, score was incremented and then get decremented, and also after 10 seconds we can see that our page throws an app throws an alert box which shows game is over and my score is 2. So now when I click on the OK button, we can see how the page gets reloaded. So now let us see the code behind this. So for the code we can see, I have created this app completely using by HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So no other external library or framework were used. So now let us see what the code is all about. So within the body tag of the HTML page, we can see that we are having a button start, a div called which specify the time, another score which another div which specify the scores, and a pre-tag where the instructions have been passed. So within the script tag we can see the count, time, str. So count is basically the score, time is basically the time which is which gets incremented by 1, so and it stops at 10. So the string, so we can also see a p tag over here in the body which is by default empty, and we are using JavaScript to fill this p tag. So also we are having an array of 40 elements, and by default each element of the array has a value 0. So inside the for loop, so when I run the for loop in the array, so because of this code over here, because of this code over here, I am able to display the div and the square. So I can, as you can see, I have run a for loop in the on the array, and I am running an if and else condition. So I'm checking that whether the index is at 7. So if my I is equal to 7, 15, 23, 31, it will create the box and it will give a line break. So that is how I am achieving the boxes over there, and by default we can see for all the div we are having a value 0. So we can see how I am having these two 0 over here. So now when I click on the start button, we can see it will call a method called start. So inside the start you can see I'm having a variable res which is calling the inbuilt function of the library JavaScript, that is set interval. So this method over here specifies that it will call this begin function in every 1 second. So what is with the begin function now? So in begin function we can see the time gets incremented by 1. Also we are having a variable called pause. So inside this pause we are using this particular code over here, so mat.floor mat.random, to get a number between 0 to 39 randomly. So it can be any number. So this particular number will get stored to this variable pause. So as I told you, by default each and every element of the arrow is having the value 0. So now I will make that so this pause is nothing but the index of the array. So when I will receive the pause from this code, I will make that particular index of the array with value 1. Then I will change. So as I told you, I don't remember whether I have told you that. So each and every div over here, each and every square over here will have a particular index, which have a particular ID, that is the index itself, and it will also have a display method which takes the parameter I, which is again the index. So now as we can see in the begin method, I will make that particular div inner HTML equal to x. Then after 1 second, this time this function over here will call. So this is the difference between set timeout and set interval. So set interval is a inbuilt function which will get called in every 1 second, and set timeout is a function which called after 1 second. So after 1 second, that particular div inner HTML will become to 0, and the value of that particular index we will make it to 0. So we made that to 1 here, and now we will make it 0 over here. So this is how I am achieving x and 0 in the same boxes. So you can see that when I click on the start button, x appears, then x becomes 0. Similarly, it happens for everything, every box over here. So that is how I am achieving. This is because of the start and begin method I am achieving that. So now what happens when I click on the div? So for each div I have created an on-click display method. So it will check the display. So the display, within the display I'm passing the index. So when it will reach the display, it will see that whether that element of the array is having the value 1 or not. If it is having the value 1, then I will make the count plus plus. If not, I will make the count negative, which is, so as I told you earlier, so count is the score. So that is how I am maintaining the score of the game, and also I'm updating the score over here also. And this is the CSS file which so this is this class over here is to, this defines my small square boxes. So because of this I'm having 40 square boxes. So this is all about my game, and this is how I'm achieving the game. So thank you for watching.